Hi guys. I'm sorry that we are late. And you guys are gonna have to deal with my bird because it's earlier in the day. But we are late because we had some technical difficulties with the audio. Poor Kanji was missing. I was like, did the eclipse get you? I don't know. So hopefully hopefully we're here now. So just a reminder, everybody be friendly and respectful in the comments. We usually don't have that problem. And even if we're rewatching this, please be friendly in the not just the chat comments, but the regular comments as well, and in your everyday life. You know, being a good humanitarian is what makes the world go round. So today we are going to get into the second part of the astrology of Ted and I, and why we're supposed to work together. So if you have not checked out the first live after you're done here, please do so. It's very, very interesting, and I believe I linked it down below, but I will probably put this into its own playlist so that you can find it later. So since we're running late, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on, and we're going to get started. And we're here.
Okay, and I'm here.
And she's alive.
Barely. Okay. I don't even know where to start.
Your audio is fine, and now it's not again.
Shut up. Don't say that.
You guys are just gonna have to deal with her audio.
It was fine before we close to it like this. Can you hear now?
I can hear you. It's just like staticky.
I don't know why.
So everybody's just gonna, as long as you can hear her, let's not have any complaints about the audio. Because we're gonna be here all day trying to fix this. It was fine before we came on. That's what was taking us so long. So I don't know. Maybe you got spirit energy over there. We'll just.
Oh, I'm sure I do. Okay, how's that?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yep.
Everyone else will tell me, is it better or is it bad? It's good. If static, it's good. Hi, Lizzie. And hello, Sasha, if you're still here. I saw you message 20 minutes ago in this comment section. Sasha's my daughter.
I saw her. I was like, oh, is that her daughter? All the ways to get a hold of you fixed your booking link, right?
I did. Okay. And also quick ones, like if you just want like a yes or no answer, I do tarot yes or no by text. So I will give you your answer within 24 hours and text it to you. That is in the booking site. Mom, it's just fine. You sound great and you look great. I love you. My daughter's like my hype train, I tell you. Yeah, and it's like I'll text it to you like the same day, and it's only $10 for a yes or no tarot question if people like have a yes or no question. And I was only reminded of that because I think someone came from your channel and actually did that yesterday. Booked a text yes or no question. So just let people know that that's available. But so we want to look at the transits at the time you first channeled Ted. And I want to make sure we have April 30th, 1:39 p.m. 2022, correct?
Oh, it was April 20th. Remember, it was Hitler's birthday.
That's what I said, honey.
Oh, I thought you said 30th. Okay, yep, that's good.
Are you sure the moon's not affecting you? We're in the middle of an eclipse. Come on.
I thought you said 30th. Sorry, my bad. Yep, that's the first time. Hitler's birthday. I didn't realize that till after. I was like, oh well.
All right, let me see what I have here. I do have. No. No. Oh, I'm not going to be happy here.
Uh-oh, what happened? Did you lose it?
Okay, I have some. So let me move it over here. I'm going to share this first one just to give a little brief of the transits and you.
Did we look up that Delphi one, or did we not do that?
I don't think you gave me the date for that one.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a time. That's right. We had the date, not the time for that one. That's why. Because I didn't auto write it.
Okay. Let me know when you see it.
Yep.
You do?
Yeah, you want me to put it up?
Yeah. Okay. So what I have circled, and hopefully it's color coordinated here. The outer ring is the planets in the sky at the moment you did that channeling of Ted. And in the center is wait a minute. This might be screwed up. No, that is not it. Oh. Oh, this is. I'm sorry. In the center is the transits for the day. And I wanted to show you the Arabic lots, the Arabic parts that matched up with it. Because we have, I mean, things like self-undoing, cooperation. These are certain points that were exact, where we have the sun at 0 degrees of Taurus in that 9th house of higher learning, belief, and striving for more knowledge, is at the same degrees as the lot of death and disaster and redemption.
So what does that mean? Does that mean by me
So
channeling him, that's
yeah, so you know when you were definitely doing cases that did have to do with death
it was
and
him?
other people's disasters, his disaster, death, and stuff like that. But also at the 0 degree or 1 degrees of Virgo here, it trines that. So it created an energy for redemption. You know, to like redeem the soul.
I got chills with that. But this
Okay.
was, yeah, because he was talking about his crimes with it in the
Okay.
first time I channeled him. So it makes sense.
Okay, good. And in this particular chart, a lot of Venus energy is involved. But it's the 2nd degree, and that is consuming, and it's also females type thing. So obviously that had a lot to do with what he did. And with the Venus and Pisces can also be what he did behind the scenes, you know, without anyone knowing, or hiding them, taking them captive. But with the Venus, that is at 16 degrees of Pisces. And it's in the 7th house. So he wants to cooperate about these issues because the 7th house of partnerships. And it is sextiling, which is then offering a hand or like trying to, say something about it or do something about it. And it is with the lot of vocation and status. So this is, he really wants to help you in what you're doing, right? Because it is what you do for a living and what what you do. And also for him, or for the transits and stuff at that time, also it shows you that you have a real passion for this. And then if you see in the other orange over here, it's in Cancer. That's 16 degrees, which is opposing it. So it's pushing and pulling. So it's coming from the friendship sector, wanting to be your friend and help you out with these things. And with the, but what is coming from the 11th house is a lot of the soul.
So what does that mean?
So his soul is friendly. And the soul energy of you and what was going on at the time, like I said, it is a friendly thing, and it is for the collector. It is for the betterment and good of, you know, groups of people in a certain sect.
Yeah.
And this is also a soul friendship or soul group that is, you know, like you have the Boy Scouts, you know, that you belong to a certain club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're a certain member of. So that's where this soul is, with a distinct group soul.
So he's soul family? Is that?
Well, so this is more in the friendship.
Okay.
Okay. Or in
soul friendship?
Collaborating for the greater good or the
Okay.
future of humanity is also the 11th house. And like I said, so it's a push-pull. So even though it is for the greater good, and like I said, for the you know, the collective and the collective conscience and groups of people, since it is opposing the 5th house of the you know, that's our pleasure house, but at the same time, they enjoy this. There's like a passion of theirs to enjoy this, right? And
Mhm.
and so equally bringing the two together. It's not just for everybody else, but it's also feeding your own soul, the people that are in this group. And then I'm going to go over here to the purple. And of course, this starts in the communication sector, but it's also the lot. We've already discussed it before, even where it's the lot of fortune, right? Physically, then bringing it to the earth here. And what it is, the Arabic part with that is it's the Arabic lot of cooperation. So, because it's at 19 degrees of Libra, and the lot of fortune on the day of the transit is at 19 degrees of Aries. So what this is, and in the 3rd house, and since it's in communication and Libra, so the messages that you were getting are because they've the souls and the spirit involved in your reading that you did is fully cooperating with you. And it is again in the house of Libra for fairness and justice. And for you then to find a way to be able to communicate it, even though who you channeled to help and to help you, we already know, at least, you know, some people get a little freaked out by it because it's Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
But you have cooperation here. And we also have redemption, like we already discussed here in the 1st house, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's redemption, the first body of this is, like I said, this is when we're on earth. That's the, you know, our body, actually physical body. And that's just so to get redemption for that time. And we have the soul here. So you have, like, these are some pretty major players of Arabic lots that was going on with the transits for the time you channeled. Are you still with me?
Yep.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay. Like I said, there's just, you're right, Lizzie. There's, like I said, we already did some asteroids, and now we're getting into some of the Arabic lots. So like I said, Arabic lots are not planets. Okay. And there's just tons of them, but I just did a few. And I just found it fascinating that how, I mean, exact degree wise, where it matched up in the areas. Okay. For them, for Arabic lots to match so many degrees, I mean, I had to use so many colors, just
Yeah.
says a lot about that exact time that you did this. Okay, so we did, we haven't done red. Okay. This is the moon, and we know how the moon is just pings everything in your chart. Receiving messages, giving messages, getting a message. Remember, we said the moon is also the ancestral past, right? And you know, the beginning and the end, ashes to ashes. You know, the moon represents those things too. Remember, you know, all memory, all knowing, and we all know it is the conductor, the energy that flows. It is with self-undoing. So with the self-undoing, and the moon is there in that fifth house, really shows his pleasures that he did was his own self-undoing.
Yeah.
Because that is an exact degree of 26. Well, it's 26 degrees of Sagittarius. The moon is at 25. And I'll try to remember if we can, if it shows up in one of the charts, but I know that degree had to do with something else that we already discussed previously.
Yeah, it might have.
And then when we did the Venus, we did, Jupiter. Jupiter in the eighth house of death, is sextiling. The lot that is sextiling it is mental competence. And the reason why I wanted to bring this one up, and also we have an opposition here with learning and travel. So the learning and travel and mental competence, right? They're all coming together right then to Jupiter in the eighth house. It creates a perfect square, so that makes Jupiter a midpoint, so the Jupiter is pinged. But this does then show, because it has, actually, like I said, it's a sextile over here, and I'm sorry, and it's a trine. So a trine is the easy, good energy, right? And the sextile is the help. It is like an olive branch to help bring this through here. And why I wanted to mention that. So this shows, you know, you had said that some people say that you're trying, that he's trying to trick you.
Yeah.
And things like that. Well, this is a sextile like this. So this is mental confidence. So this shows, nope, you're not crazy. You're completely mentally competent. Okay. In receiving these messages that have to do with it. Okay.
Glad you brought that up. I've gotten a lot of heat on
Okay,
this.
so I thought you know, you to tell you that, because that's very important.
It is, because
Okay.
people think that I'm being tricked and I'm crazy for doing that and blah blah blah.
Right.
So it just kind of shows I'm not.
Yeah. So those points right there show that you are not, because like I said, it gives it, because with this one 16 degrees, this is 16 degrees. I think Jupiter is too, but I kind of covered it up with the pink. But I have them all in the same color, and these are all friendly, good aspects.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a negative entity coming to steal my soul.
Not today. Or at least not on that day.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of your life, but we're just talking this day.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, then we have the lime green here. And this has to do then with Mercury. And Mercury, you know, we know is the communicating. But it's also with travel, but it's through that ninth house of the higher beliefs. You're striving for the higher knowledge, right? Because you're like, we know so much about death. We know so much about the spirit world. We know so much about religion, beliefs. And then the ninth house is where we keep striving and learning. This is also like if we were going to college, and then we go to get the masters and higher, right? Learning more and more. That's where Mercury is the travel. With the 18 degree, and the 18 degree we know is attacks, knives, cutting, you know. And then we have a lot here opposing it. And this one is the lot of death and disaster. with the ascendant 8 and the moon at 18. So you're communicating all those things, and where that lot is then also in the communication house in Scorpio, and we already know these are really close to Ted's. So his planets in his natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first chart I wanted to bring up. Any questions about this one? Anybody? Hi, Casey.
Was this the one that did the finger or did the thing in the middle of the
No,
hand?
that
Or
was
a different
the
one?
third and the last
That's
one. You
Idaho.
didn't give me the time and date for that one.
The Idaho one? I didn't know you needed it.
What you sent me was the first reading April 20th, 1:39 p.m. And then the second read May 4th, 9:04 p.m. It was the third time dealing with him is where it showed that he had his final healing, because it did turn into the Star of David, all of sextiles.
Yeah, that was the Idaho. I thought you had that.
You didn't send that one to me.
No, I thought you had it from before.
No. No, that was in, I don't know, when was that? In January? So
yeah.
Now this is the lots on that day in your chart. So this one was the transits for the day. Okay. But that's not what I wanted to show. This was I had saved another file. Let me see if it'll open. Nope. I'm just gonna have to.
See, the problem is I don't know what time that happened. Ah. Stop. Sorry. Stupid thing. Oh, I know it was December 1st, but I don't know what time it was. So I don't know how we did that before. Because I know we did it before, so we must have had a time.
We did it during your reading, and we just randomly pulled that chart up.
Yeah, but we must have had a time, right?
Yeah, you had a time.
How did we have a time? Because it's on YouTube. Like, I didn't.
I don't know.
I know how I had a time. It was on StreamYards.
No, this is wrong. Why are you here? Okay, are you seeing anything? I got to change the screen.
Not right now. I'm going to get you that, and I don't know if you can plug it in or if it's too late. I thought you had it. I didn't know you needed it.
Okay, can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. Make sure this is right. North node at 22.
What the hell happened?
Transit Mercury. Conjunct Chiron. No. Oh, this is wrong. I need you. This is you. Okay. And I need a bi-wheel of the first. This one. Yep. There we go. Okay, what's weird at this time, the nodes before were at the 22 degrees that we mentioned before, but they were retrograde. Normally in most of our birth charts and stuff, the north and south node will have a R by it for retrograde. That's a normal progression of the nodes. But on that particular moment, they were actually direct. So that's when they're really super strong. And so it was still at that 22 killer, be called at the Scorpio Taurus axis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trining. So remember, the trine is like a good, easy flowing energy. So the north node is trining your south node. Remember, the south node is what you came in as with the knowledge that you know. It's trining that, and the south node is sextiling your south node, and the north node is sextiling your north node, because your north node is 22 Cancer. The day of the transit, it was 22 Taurus. South node, 22 Scorpio, and yours is 22 Capricorn. So when you have a sextile like this, and a trine, and a sextile, and a trine, what that creates, it will look like a rectangle. And when there's a rectangle like that, they call it the mystic rectangle. And it's also a protection too, because it creates a boundary. And they used to, like I said, they could usually call it the like I said, the mystic rectangle, but it is also an envelope. But it's happening with the transit nodes and your nodes of, part of your destiny and what you're striving for while you're here this time on Earth. So that's the first thing. And then we also have, if we look at transit Mercury in Taurus, right here at 18 degrees, it is in the third house on your Chiron at 18 degrees. So this is a part of whatever trauma and wounds that you have had. This is then also what you're doing too, as a part of your healing, and you to communicate and heal others. Because we talked about Chiron before, that never gives up, but then will also teach what they learn along the way. And it is at that 18 degrees of danger, killings or whatever. So you doing the crime things or the missing persons to try to help families. Mercury's right there with it. And Mercury in the transit is in the 9th house of the higher belief system, of getting the messages from there to you. So this is where that's why a lot of the times when you do your cases, you'll try again, or you'll still keep getting more information later on a case. Remember, Chiron doesn't give up. So that was in the transits for the day. And then if you Saturn, here we go with our Saturn. Remember, Saturn is the past. Saturn is karma. Saturn is the timekeeper. It's at 23 degrees of Aquarius on your sun at 23 degrees of Aquarius.
So, what's that mean?
So, well, like I said, with Saturn, it is the past. So you look at, and it is with Saturn there, like it can be authority stuff. It is also the timekeeper. It is also one of the lords of karma. But with Saturn being there, coming from the 6th to the 7th, this is part of like your daily routine, daily life. But this is also with your sun. Your sun is shining a light, bringing it up, because when you're talking about, when you channel, you're seeing and you're bringing up events that has already happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Saturn is very strong in that, and Saturn doesn't forget. And then I want to bring up transit sun at 0 degrees of Taurus. It is trining. Remember the sun, which is going to bring light to something, bring something out, help something shine. It is on that day trining the lot of spirit. So that is, remember the lot of spirit, that's the otherworldly things that we can't understand. And the sun was exactly 0 degrees, and the lot of spirit was exactly 0 degrees that day. So you were getting a very strong, you had a very strong channel to the other side that was allowing this stuff, allowing it to come out into the light. You know, for you to be the one to bring it out to the public. And if we go, then I have to look down at my notes tonight. There's a lot. So when we look at Mars in Pisces, transit Mars. Where are you? There it is, 4 degrees. In the 7th house of partnership at that 4 degrees. And the 4 degrees is home, familiarity, family. And your 4th house, Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. Well, Mars then was squaring exactly your Uranus at 4 degrees. So Mars here in this partnership that you developed, who's helping you, you know, Ted is pushing you to bring it out, because the 10th house is bring it out, right? To the status out, you know, the public. But since it's at a 4 degrees, it's also a very familiar degree. And this is this male pushing you to do that. And since it's from the 12th house, remember Pisces is the veil. 1 foot in, 1 foot on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There. So we have Mars. I mean, we have so many exact degrees. Again, when you did your channeling at this time. I just had to stop for a second and check the chat. No.
I found that time and date. I wish I would have known you needed it. I don't know if we have time, if you can plug it in, or if it's too complicated. When we're done with this.
Yeah, we'll see. So transit ascendant. So at the time that you did it in the sky, the ascendant, the rising line was at 24 degrees of Leo. And it was squaring your natal, is it? Wait a minute. It was a midpoint. Ascendant square Venus at 24 degrees. No, I apologize. That's incorrect. So it is then sextiling. Sometimes we have a midpoint pings. We have when it comes to the transit and it pings the midpoint in our chart. Yours is Saturn and Pluto in the 8th house of death. The ping is going to happen. So you digging about death, these things, Jupiter, and it was with the ascendant here. This is a famous person that did this, right? These famous things, Pina. And with the Pluto, you're bringing up everything, even some things that maybe the newspapers didn't know, maybe cops didn't know, maybe investigators don't know about certain things.
That makes sense, because what I was trying to do was actually find victims that we didn't know about, or find information that we didn't know about. That's what that was about. So that the whole reading was about. So that totally makes sense.
Okay.
What I was trying to do.
I didn't see your reading, so I don't know. Okay.
But that's what I was talking to him about, his crimes in the first reading, and trying to figure out if I could find anything that we didn't know about.
Okay.
That's pretty validating because it matches it matches what I was trying to do.
And there's something here, if I'm remembering correctly. Wait a minute, 24. Scorpio. Transit Jupiter. Why do I want to? Okay. So here with the Neptune and Jupiter going over here to the Leo, so this is also it's a very unstable, wobbly energy. So I'm sure some things was probably a little bit, like difficult to pull out of it.
Yeah. Yep. Wasn't easy.
But some of that would have to do because I would say some of the victims, the females, right, that were involved, just want to let their part of it rest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they still just don't want it to come out because they've already probably already completed what they needed to complete.
Right.
Okay. And then I think then I'm going on to, Ted's. Let me see. Ted Bundy, by Will. Is this right? Yes. Okay. So Ted's in the center. And this is still the transits for the day over here. What I found interesting was Neptune. 24 degrees, which is a Neptune degrees, Pisces 12th house degrees in Pisces, which is, remember, the 12th house of hidden things, secrets, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that gateway. Neptune there is exactly trining, which is that good, smooth energy, Ted's Mercury, of him communicating. Exactly 24 degrees.
So it means
he freely told his secrets.
Okay.
Because Neptune can be like, like the secrets, the spy, or whatever, that stuff. Freely told it. And where is it at? In the 8th house of death.
Makes
and
sense.
Jupiter's next to it. It's not exact degree, but it's close. So that's okay because it's within 3 degrees, means there was a lot of it. A lot of death, a lot of stuff that he did. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, I didn't get it all. I mean, I didn't get it all, but I know that he gave me
But
a lot of things.
He has a lot of secrets. And then the ascendant,
which was what I was trying to do, and I'll probably still try to get his secrets.
yeah, well, 24 degrees of Leo, okay, which is also the hidden. It is right there on his ascendant at 25 degrees of Leo. So this is like himself, but still showing, since it's right there on that 12th house club, is the hidden side of him, the hidden stuff. But I found that interesting that it was the ascendant was within 7 minutes of his ascendant, because it's 24 degrees 56 minutes and it can only go to 60, and his is 25 degrees 2 minutes. So that's why it'd be 4 plus 2, well, 6 minutes apart. So it's exact pretty much on him.
So what does that mean? Sorry, people were confused in layman's terms.
Okay, your ascendant, who you are, right?
Yeah.
This is you. This is your body when you're here. That's your ascendant. Well, the time you did the chart, the ascendant is the same as Ted, and like I said, within 7 minutes of the same degree, so it's the same. So it's Ted is the, you know, okay. The transit is, so it matches Ted. So you do have the right person that you're talking to. You wanted Ted.
So I am talking to Ted. I'm not talking to some random person pretending to be Ted for all you naysayers out there. Okay, that's what it means. I know what I'm doing.
I mean, 7 minutes apart from his ascendant and the ascendant of what's in the sky at the time, that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I'm going to hide that little bar. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, well, okay. She got, it's almost like, oh, who was it? Casey. Who was that prophet from Kentucky?
I don't know.
Anybody know who the sleeping prophet? So when he would like sleep or he would close his eye and he'd get in a trance and he was a prophet. Edgar Casey.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And all the time, if you read any of his stuff, and he was like, okay, we have the body. Like he was like when he was trying to like connect with someone to find out about them or what they did, he was like, okay, I have the body. It's almost like I see the ascendant at 24 degrees. It would be like you saying, okay, I have the body. Because it's the same as his body. It's the same, point. That's what it reminds me of.
I love when I can say, I told you so.
Well, you can have that. Okay. So Pluto is at 13 degrees in the sky. Nope, it's not. What is this? Oh, no. Ted's Pluto. 13 degrees, right? We know he died in prison, but he also did a lot of killings, a lot of attacks at 13 degrees. Leo, famous for it, right? Well, what is nice about this particular chart is Chiron, transit Chiron is at 13 degrees of Aries. Over here in the 8th house of death, trining his Pluto. So that means this session that you had, since it was 5 degrees out of the 8th house into the 9th house of God, where you want to, ascend to, right? That direct link, trining his Pluto, then this was a part of his healing because it's exactly 13 degrees. And I know that you felt some things like that, especially once you got to a certain point in a reading that you saw some things. That's where that started. Okay. And then we have transit South Node right here, 22 degrees, is exactly midpoint his Venus and Mercury. And remember when I told you about midpoints, when it's a ping from a transit, something does happen. And for him, it's in the 4th house, right? Home, and he's getting familiar. But remember that Venus is females, 20 degrees of death, right? We know he killed a lot of women involved in that. The Mercury, 24 degrees, Scorpio, death, but it's also communicating the South Node. With it being the South Node, that, like I said, is the time when it's not just lost, but it's when things get removed out of the way. So I think then that had a lot to do with part of the healing. So now finally some of this stuff that happened, because his was both retrograde, but that he came back here to do, is now this part of what he did in this particular life on Earth is now it's like dissolved. Okay. That's what that has to do with there.
So about like channeling it with me,
Mm-hmm.
that means that in a way he healed from it, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
it helped his soul kind of elevate, I guess, to where I guess that happened every time we communicated until he finally crossed.
Yeah, and then since Mercury's there with the secrets and all things hidden, and even his mental competencies, those things removed out of the way, so he did let those out.
I think in this one he told me I wasn't his type.
No, just tell the truth.
Yeah.
So, and then we're going to go back to that Saturn 23 degrees, which was on your sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, here we are. His 7th house cusp is 24 degrees 56 minutes. That's where kind of like that Saturn is. So that is, here you are, but he's offering a service, helping in your daily, chores, or routines, but also then helping like some in that partnership, because we still have that Mars is where he's taking action in it, but here you fell. So interesting. The ascendant is his ascendant. The descendant is your sun.
And
So that's then, then the next level, then since it's right there on that cusp, then working with you in partnership, the 7th
okay.
house. And then the ascendant at the 24 degrees of Leo. So right there on the cusp is trining exactly his natal Mercury. So yes, he wants to talk about it all. And he feels, but since it's also in the 4th house, he feels comfortable. Feels like it's family, like it's okay. And so there's the trine to his Mercury. And then, oh, God, I hope I saved this chart. Everyone, just remember the moon is at 25 degrees, okay? 25 degrees of Sagittarius. Because what I want to do is this is his chart with those asteroids I put in.
Mm-hmm.
Who's at 25 degrees of Sagittarius? Rochelle.
I don't know.
RAC, right here. Remember when I put your name in his chart?
Oh yeah.
In his chart, his natal chart is 25 degrees of Sagittarius. That's exactly where the moon was.
And so what does that mean?
We know the moon is the conductor of all the energy,
Right.
the messages, right? That is the moon, okay? That creates all of this. The moon was exactly on you, and the moon is also familiarity, family, ancestries, communicating, memories, everything, okay? The moon is what, without the moon, nothing would work, right?
Right.
It's just the way it is. The moon was at 25 degrees of Sagittarius when you channeled him. And that is exactly on Rachel in his chart. Or Rochelle, sorry. Right there. So I thought you'd like to know that. It pinged you in his chart.
So it's like a ancestral thing, or I just want to make sure I understand. If I don't understand,
Moon was
maybe else
next to
understand.
okay, in his chart, the moon pinged you in his chart, brought you out to him. Okay? The moon's transferring the light from the asteroid Rachel in his chart. Because the moon is a translator of light.
Okay.
Yes, like a portal, Casey. Yes, the moon is the one that, yes, controls all of that. And then also, we have these things called, I want to put it up the first read chart again. And Anticia in a chart. And if there is a planetary or some point that is an Anticia point of another planet, then that is something where everything will be fine. Some way. First read, here it is. So the moon here, if you look at this little box in the corner, this says Anticia, and then we have Contra Anticia. Well, the moon's Anticia is at a point at 4 degrees of Capricorn. And the 4 degrees of Capricorn is on the vertex of the chart. Remember, the vertex, I said, is a certain point. If something happens or you communicate or talk to someone or something like that, this point means it's meaningful and it means something. And that's where the moon's Anticia was. So that means it was what the moon was doing then was actually then protected by this vertex portal and brought it in. So we also know at this point too, it means something. There's a reason for it. And since it's the Anticia instead of the Contra, it's a good thing. It's good. And then also the sun has an Anticia, but it's a fixed star. The sun was on the fixed star Regulus. Regulus the lion, Regulus the king. You're like, I'm still confused. What are you still confused about?
The whole moon and
Dude, I think now you are feeling the eclipse. I think you're
no, my brain doesn't work sometimes.
well, you'll have this to go back over. I mean, the moon's occulting the sun. What do you want right now? But luckily, it's not affecting me at this moment.
Thank God, because we need your brain working.
I'm curious if my daughter lasted this long, if she's even still watching. Probably not. She's a busy girl. Okay, so that's just the first chart.
We're making good time.
So I need to do the, do I have notes on the second? Please tell me. I have a little bit of notes on the second. I have to go over more.
Did you see Vanished and Forgotten's comment?
But
you're his moon and he's your sun. That's what I got.
all right. All right, shake it off. Take a break here before we get into the second chart, okay? I want to see chat a little bit. I'm going to take that off, my camera off for a second, and switch.
You want me to take you off the screen?
I just did, didn't I?
No, I have to remove you. I took off your camera, but I can remove you. All right, so we're going to ramble on for a second while she's taking a break because there's a lot of energy that comes off these charts, I think. Hold on. 9, 22, 10. I found the information for Idaho. I didn't know she needed it. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it, but oh, crap. Hold on one second. 10. 10. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, you know, I don't feel the effects, but maybe I do. Sometimes I just can't. Sometimes I just don't understand like the stuff she's talking about. That's why, and I know some people don't either. So I'm like, layman's terms, layman's terms. Explain it so that I can understand it because I know a lot of you. Yeah, I mean, there's a connection there. So if you go back to the first live than it's always supposed to have been. And so remember that we aren't, like she said before you got here, he's a good soul. He just had a tough human life. Just because he had a tough human life doesn't make him a bad soul. So there would still be that connection. Don't feel dumb. Yeah, you can feel a lot of energy off of the chart. I think last time that we did this, I was so drained because there's a lot of energy coming off of that. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do the Idaho 4. I did not know that she needed the times and stuff for that. I thought she had it, but I guess she did it. So yeah, so we all have soul contracts, we all have a role to play when we come here, but he's healing by releasing it to me, by telling me what he told me, and I was trying to get things that weren't out there, and that's basically, I mean, confirming what the chart is confirming, that he was giving it to me freely as a friend. It was him that I was talking to, and there's a connection there, and it was a good contact. It wasn't a bad contact. Yeah, lots, Casey. And if you didn't see the first one, there's a lot of them on that too. When we put both of our charts together, it's a lot. Because I don't think people realize how important and how big the connection is. And it's all in our charts. I mean, you can't change your charts. So all of this is validating whatever, So it was him I was connecting to. It wasn't somebody that's, tricking me. And that's the biggest reason why I wanted to do this. I had a lot of mediums come to me telling me I was being tricked by Ted, but right here it proves that that's not what was happening. I was talking to him and he was being free with information and I was not in danger. So that's what it's about. Yeah, I just I have, like, I didn't know that she needed the information. For I thought she had it from before. So when I sent her the stuff for this chart, I forgot about that one because I thought she had it. My bad. So hopefully we'll be able to get into that and she can just plug it in and take a look at it and get the gist of it. There's a big thing about that chart that I want her to talk about. Because it was when basically his soul was released or decided he wanted to go to the other side and into the light. But this was all, this was all allowed. This was all a positive thing, and it's for the human race. It's for the collective. I went to him, but we found out that he did help with Delphi, and we would pull the chart on that, but we don't know the time that I did the reading. When I got the name, he helped with that without me knowing. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we have those hard lessons so that we can teach, which is basically kind of what he's doing through me and also healing through me at the same time. And he enjoys it. So, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Okay. And she's back.
Oh, Casey. See, Casey, I know Casey in here. And what she says about the numbers on it, this girl knows her stuff. Okay, she really does. And I'm sure she's feeling a very strong energy because she's got a stellium in Scorpio, and that's where the eclipse is happening. And I have a stellium in Scorpio. So you have to, okay. I need some water is what I need.
I wish I had some, like...
I don't have any water or Gator up here, but I really need some.
Do you need to go get some?
I don't have any Gatorade.
Water.
Yeah, I probably should.
All right, I'll take you off for one more time.
All right, let me do that.
That was just his role this time around, but it shows that he's actually a good soul. He just had a hard time. And that was mentioned earlier. So when you rewatch it, Deborah, you'll see that she talks about that. It's pretty powerful. And the first time we put the charts together was pretty powerful too. I just feel more of a drain. from it. So, you know, and people that are spiritual and understand, you know, that we come here to live and learn, that we're not our human selves, you know, we're our spirit. Yep. And she was feeling it the last live that we did, because we had both of our charts like together, and it was just the power of both of the charts. It was just crazy. So I don't think people realize how much energy you can feel off of this kind of stuff, especially when there's something that's faded. Oh, the eclipse. Yeah, she probably is. I don't notice it that I know of. And I'm a fixed sign. I'm an Aquarius. I'm supposed to feel something with it, but so far so good. Let's just say that. Now I should knock on wood because it probably won't stay that way. It probably will not stay that way. So, FYI, there might be some heavy stuff that happens over the next, few days. We've already got a couple of big things in the news. So don't go anywhere. She'll be back. And we'll head into the second reading that I did. That reading was more about, well, I think he was telling me about other cases in that reading. I mean, I was still trying to get more from him on what he did and the victims that we didn't know about, but I'm wondering if he wasn't giving me information on other cases in that reading, because there's some stuff that I really couldn't connect to him. So give me thumbs up when you're ready. She's dying back there, you're right. I can't hear you. Well, I haven't put you on yet. I'm waiting for you to give me the thumbs up. You're backstage. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, is I know she's probably feeling it. I don't think I feel it. I haven't noticed anything. So, unless that's part of my drain. But I always get drained when I do live, so. All right, here she comes. All right, she's back.
Surprised you couldn't hear me. I was like, oh, you won't can hear me. So I just was cussing away.
No, when you're backstage, I can't.
Okay. Yeah. I am sorry. I'm drained anyway. And I just looked outside too when I got water. My mom is still out there. We're giving all the hanging baskets a haircut. That's what we call it. She's still out there, and it's dark out. We've been busy. I moved cinder blocks. Whew. Yes, I am feeling it, Casey. I am feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. And what I just noticed here, which screen are you seeing? You're not seeing the right one. I'm going to stop that.
I don't know if that's the new one or that's the one you left up when you left.
Okay. Oh, Lord. I don't think this one's going to show up. I don't know if you can see anything. We're going to see. Can you see anything?
It's a white screen.
That's what I thought. That's crazy. It wasn't white before when we were doing it.
Damn, Mercury retrograde. Leave me alone.
Damn it, Jim. Okay. Wait, let me just go okay. Is that what it wants me to do? Now will it do it? Window? No, it's not. Cancel. Come on, StreamYards. Pick it up. Window? No. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a screenshot, and then I'm going to put it over in a different thing so you can see this. Let's try it this way.
There it is.
Yep, that's right. What I just noticed and found interesting of your May 4th reading is the eclipse is at 14 degrees of Scorpio right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is opposite the Sun and Uranus at 14 degrees of Taurus. So the eclipse is crossing over the point of when you did that reading of the Sun that day, on the Sun's point.
Well, it is only a day later than last year that we're doing this live. So that's interesting.
Right? What's also interesting though is Uranus was at 14 degrees also. It's not now, but it was then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do, particularly on this day, I didn't write down much because I had to go do stuff, but I'll see if I can see more stuff. But the transit lot of spirit, remember that's the otherworldly stuff coming through that we have no control over. It's not a planet, and it has nothing to do with physicality. This is all whole other world. Was at 23 degrees of Libra in the 10th house of out there reputation being known for. And what that did was it trines exactly. Like I said, trine is the easy, no blockage energy. Trining your sun at 23 degrees of Aquarius. So with, like I said, the lot of spirit, that's all the, unknown beyond spirit world was trining you exactly at 23 degrees.
Which means, layman's terms,
this eclipse is affecting you because you caught on to this before.
well, and not just for me, for other watchers, because I had some people saying they didn't understand.
But
So
that's what I'm saying.
layman's
It's uninstructed from the spirits, from the spirit world, from the unknown, from source, from the energy, from the cosmos, everything, trining your sun at 23 degrees. So this is the whole spiritual world, whatever, pinging you. Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's not even a planet. That's a freaking universe.
Oh, that is pretty crazy.
Let's see. And then the transit, which I also thought is midheaven, is also at 23 degrees, which then makes this a partile energy. So when it's a partile energy, it's working in tandem. And the midheaven is, like I said, the top of our chart, the peak of our life, the, high noon. So it's partile, but then the midheaven of the chart for that day was then exactly trining your Venus at 23 degrees in the 12th house. So being a friendly emissary and stuff like that. So this too is then helping probably a lot of female victims. But this is also these things bringing in a friendship, a collaboration, but it's also for the common good of 12th house hidden things, secrets, knowledge. So you got spirits then pinging this too. It's a square, so it's pushing you to bring this stuff out. And here is which I thought was cool because it's the midheaven bringing that. So this is also them pushing you out even more. And I think this is also when you started doing around this time is when more people started discovering you.
Nope.
It wasn't when the Idaho 4 stuff was going on.
Idaho 4 was November. I sent you the time for that because I
Oh,
didn't know you needed it. This was just my communications with him that I did earlier in the year, but this was around the time I did Delphi, I think.
oh, the Delphi.
I
Oh,
think I
so
did
you got the
Delphi
right
11th, May
answers.
11th. Yeah.
That's when you were getting the Delphi names, right?
Nope, I got that May 11th. I did this before. This is
Right,
May
but
4th,
this
right?
is the stuff that's pushing, that's good, that's bringing this stuff out
Yeah.
for your reputation, your career,
Mm.
you being out there in the world. So when you started, because what it looks like to me, I know it sounds strange, when you first started channeling Chad and working with him and doing these things, is what then started opening up these doorways.
That makes sense, though. Poppy, stop. That makes sense. That makes complete sense because it was I channeled Ted the first time, then I channeled Ted the second time, then I did Delphi the 11th after I was feeling a push towards it, and then that's when I got the name. So it makes sense as it, like you said, kind of opened a portal for everything to start shifting.
And we have here with your Uranus and Mercury, and these don't have to be exact degrees, but it's creating, if you see these two blue lines that turn into a point,
Mm-hmm.
and what it's good, the point it goes to is the moon. Here we have the moon again, and the moon's in Cancer, so it's very strong. Okay. Also, I know on this day the moon was also out of balance, which makes it even more stronger. So when you, this is what they call a yod, or some majority of us call it the finger of God.
Mm-hmm.
And the apex to the point is the moon. So, and in the fifth house, it's coming from the seventh. So this new partnership you have will bring you material blessings. And with it being a yod, the yod means this was, it's like kind of like meant to happen.
Like a destiny thing.
Yep.
She said, "Finger of God, please explain more."
Well, it's like God pointing to a certain spot, right? So it's kind of like it's commanded. And where it's pointing is to the moon in Cancer at 2 degrees. And it's coming, it's her Uranus and her Mercury, you communicating, you being a pioneer, you bringing things out there for the future. For, you know, like we discussed before in the previous live, of you putting out there the understanding where we come from, where we go, belief systems, and things. This is again confirmed you're supposed to be a part of it, but it's also wants to make sure then too that you enjoy it and you're taking pleasure in it, right? That you
Yeah.
love doing it. But then with the second house there too, it's also going to help bring you some material abundance here on this road, kind of like being rewarded for doing it, because the yod energy with these blue lines, like it's kind of wobbly, it's kind of shaky and kind of hard to get a grip on it. So you have to, so she would have to use the Mercury, her communicating, and Uranus working together to get to that point. But also doing this too, the moon is the people, it is the masses. Then sharing the knowledge that she has with Uranus about these things and these hidden things, then will help the masses and the people to learn about that type of spirituality.
Yes. So fated, destiny, all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a couple yods in my chart and I think they suck.
I didn't have a choice in the matter.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have a choice. So it's on some things, and it's just, yeah, you have those. And what I found interesting in that day on the transit chart for the second reading, we talked about the vertex being a special entry point or set a point, a meeting, fated meetings, fated things, right? It's exactly 28 degrees in the 8th house. So this is with the dead, the underworld, the occult, things people don't understand, is exactly opposite the lot of fortune at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So for those two to be lined up like that, that is definitely a portal. So you're just opening up all kinds of fucking portals. What do you have, like your own secret treasure, like map of where gateways are and know when to do something? Because you get
I guess so. I guess by doing this,
you get a lot of them.
I guess by doing this, that's what I kind of did, because it did kind of change after it. It's kind of odd that you say that.
Yep.
But it's a good portal, right?
I'm going to have to say it has to be, because in this particular transit chart, we have the lot of fortune, we have the vertex pinging for a reason. Plus we have the lot of spirit. So everything, and like it's a lot of fortune is what then brings it materially here on earth, our lot in life on earth, right? Then you got the whole spirit, otherworldly stuff. Then you got the vertex, which is a special point of a meeting and a timing, all in that time you were channeling. Like I said, these aren't planets. These are very special points.
I'm Doctor Strange, like Casey says. Opening up portals everywhere.
Let me see. Oh, then also with the lot of fortune, right? At 28 degrees, Pluto just crossed it at 28 degrees. So that is definitely bringing things from the underworld to the surface. Going and digging deep in areas that most humans don't want to dig into.
Yep.
But Pluto is also our power. So you being able to do this is actually also means like you're very powerful at it. Going behind the scenes, doing it, digging it. If you want to leave this type of work, you really need to go be a spy or a private investigator.
That totally makes sense, though. I would love to be a psychic private investigator anyways.
Because you can totally do it and be rewarded for it, because the moon's at 2 degrees.
It makes sense. Because I used to want to be a detective. Like I always tell people, I was so into Columbo growing up. I just do it a different way. I think that's why I go towards the crime part of this. But I am doing detective work. It's just a different way.
Right. I'm going to move you.
My cats are being annoying today.
Oh my God, what just happened?
I still see it.
What? If you just saw what I see, it's so weird. I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, that's weird. Okay. My monitor is like possessed. What happened? I'll get you out of here. You shrunk down to about this, the whole screen of the StreamYard shrunk down to about this big out of the whole screen. Just suddenly.
Oh.
Right, Luminary and Luna. What is it? The Luminary Luna beams? You're right. This is just what? I don't know how do I? This doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh, Hope, why are you being so annoying right now? Stop.
I'm sorry. I can't. I lost you. I can't find you.
What do you mean you can't find me?
I
I'm
can't
here.
find.
I see you.
I'm glad
I
you.
see you. I see the chart. I see everything. You didn't
Okay.
go anywhere.
Okay.
My cat is being so freaking annoying right now. Get out of here. I love you, but now's not the time for you to come and meow and lick me in the back. I know, she's there. It says you can't see us, but we can see you. Everybody sees you. I see you. I hear you. I see the chart. And you're all good.
I wish I
Now-
could turn the camera so you could see what the hell I'm seeing. This is something's not right. Something just happened.
Well, it all looks the same and nothing changed.
For you, in your world, my world changed. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix this. Okay, I can see it now. Everything's just in a weird place. Okay. I wasn't even touching nothing.
Mercury retrograde. Stop it.
I swear, Mom, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. I didn't do it. Something did. And Karma Energy says she's hearing feedback from you now.
It might be because I messed with mine.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Karma Energy, I saw some of the chat after the show was over. Were you the one that kept asking about the dog on my wall? Let's see. There. I don't see any more chat. That's crazy. Oh, that's right, Casey. With Pluto retrograde and Uranus, everything just switched. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show her this dog, okay? Because she kept asking about it in the last one. This is, can you see him? He's Hong Kong Boy. I don't know if any of you know the old cartoon. But what this is, if you look at the back of it and everything, what and how it's made, and it's actually curved. This is my brother's. I have 4 brothers. My one brother's girlfriend. A gallery wanted to feature some of her artwork. And then she asked my brother to be a part of it and do some of his artwork. So that's one of his art pieces. And what these art pieces are that he does is from old skateboards. And so what he does, he puts them on a table saw and things like that and get it just in the right curves to make certain characters and shapes and things. And then he paints them and epoxies them so they're actually 3D and kind of like layered from old skateboards. Now I'm going, you want me to pull up Ted's chart in the transits for the second?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. If you're done with this one.
Okay. I think so. So with Uranus and the Sun, so the lot of spirit pinging the Sun, the MC pinging the Sun and pinging Venus. then we'll naturally then look, like I said, we had to look at the sun's energy where it was 14 and 14, which is now against this eclipse. It's a part of the culmination of putting this out there for your validation and proof of why you did what you did. This eclipse could be bringing that with that 14 degrees of that day. Since you got some slack for it.
I got more slack with Idaho than in general, but yeah. I mean, I get slack in general of working with him, especially from mediums.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Telling me I'm being tricked and all that, but we already went over that I'm obviously not.
Okay. I don't think. No, there's way too much stuff, and like I said, real pinged energy for this stuff. All I want to do, computer, is pull up programs so I can do TEDs. That's all I want to do, and it'll let me do it. Don't start acting up.
Come on, Mercury retrograde, don't do this to us.
Okay. Then I'm doing. I will. Rachel, where is it? First, I'll take a second. Okay. Let's see if this program will let me do it this time. I'm gonna. Screen, put it up, share screen. Window. No, it will not. All right, I gotta do what I did before, just copy it. There it is. All right, Rachel, maybe you need to ask Ted Nicey to let me show this chart to everybody.
Ted, let her show the chart. Come on.
You asshole.
I don't think it's him. He doesn't care.
It's like there for a second, and as soon as I go to click the paste, it just wants to be.
It's okay. It's okay. My spirit dog just woke up weird. My AMF ain't doing nothing. It's okay, baby.
Okay. Maybe you need to chat with the chat because there's an issue here.
You want me to take you off and keep in mind, guys. See, I can hear myself on your side. Mercury retrograde and eclipses causing all kinds of issues.
Oh yeah, it is. It is now for real. Yep, it just keeps disappearing. It's like flashing in and out. The chart.
Well, do you want to go out, come back in, and try it?
I could try that.
Okay.
So I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye. She'll be back in just a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the energy's a little high. We got all this planetary stuff going on, so please be patient. Unfortunately, with technology, you never know. Especially with Mercury retrograde, because there is issues with technology, and then you have the eclipse on top of that. It's kind of a lot. So it's a lot right now. It's a lot. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you, or try to answer? Not really astrology questions, obviously, but questions in my wheelhouse about this so far. Yeah, I mean, we got, like I said, we got Mercury retrograde, which is about technology, uh, transportation or travel, communication. So you're having issues with all that stuff. Then you got the eclipse that's got in it's Scorpio, right? Eclipse in Scorpio. That's very powerful energy. So you got a lot going on right now. And it's interesting because it is almost a year to the date that I did the second reading. I did it the 4th of last year, May 4th. So, but will I wait for her to come back in? Does anybody have any questions regarding my wheelhouse in any of this that I can answer for you? If not, give me something to talk about so I don't sit here and ramble. Talk about things I have no idea. Yeah, so usually I fill the pool to connect with him, and I do. So when I did the first 2 readings, it was a pool to connect to him, to try to figure out maybe things we didn't know about him, things we didn't know about his victims. That's what the initial first 2 contacts were about. And then when we got into Idaho 4, I was like, you know what? Because right away it reminded me of Ted Bundy, the whole situation, the breaking into the house, all of that. But I didn't realize how very much, as far as attributes, he would kind of have with Ted. But that's who it reminded me right away. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna connect with Ted on this. And he was very forthcoming. And by doing that, that's what helped him cross. So I think it was the energy of all 3 things. But he felt comfortable communicating, like we talked about the first time we communicated. It was like a friendly encounter. He felt comfortable sharing his secrets, and that's kind of how it goes. So whenever I feel like I'm stuck on a case and I need him, that's when I kind of pull him through. And like I did it for JJ. Nobody knew I did it because I got a lot of slack, but JJ was alive. I wasn't getting a lot of information. So I pulled in Ted to tell me where JJ was. So the last time I used him was Madeline. I was trying to do location. I didn't do it for you guys. I kind of just did it on my own and tried to get more on the location that I was seeing. But he, and then when I was working Anna, he came to me and started waving his arms and wanted to show me something. So sometimes he comes to me like an instant like that if he has something to tell me. Otherwise, I usually just connect to him and reach out to him when I feel stuck. He's like my go-to for crime when I'm stuck. Almost like a guide, I guess, in a sense. I don't know if he's actually trying to become that or if it's just like a consultant, but I don't know if that answered your question. Don't go anywhere. She'll be right back. And hopefully we can get through the second chart and she'll have time to just speak on the third one, because I feel bad I didn't know she needed that. What body signs do you notice when you're doing mediumship? I notice from the outside that your nose seems to run when you're getting more through. You know what is so funny? Because sometimes that does, and I know that Lisa Williams has that problem. I think it was Lisa Williams that talked about it, how her nose would run, or one of them like that. That her nose would run, and my nose doesn't really run. Sometimes it does, but body signs I mostly get I feel things that they felt mostly is what it is. So when I connect a lot with Ted, I kind of get a headache, which would make sense for him. But he, I don't feel anything negative when I'm doing it. I just feel the regular, like when I'm connecting to spirit. Um, all right, she's back. Are you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready? Okay, she's good. Did that help?
Not really. I started closing everything out. I had to like reset. It wouldn't even let me like click on StreamYards, nothing. It's weird. It was really weird. I don't know what happened.
But did that help with you going out and coming back in?
I had to totally restart my computer.
Well, I mean the restart, the going out, restarting.
Yeah,
Did it help?
think so.
Okay.
I think so. Let's see if I can share the screen. Yes.
My nose could just be running because it's allergy season.
Okay, do we see it?
Yeah.
Mm. I'm gonna hide that there. Okay. So this is Ted in the center, and the day of the transits are on the outside ring here. If you notice, we have transit Venus at that 2 degrees coming from the 4th house of Aries, was trining his sun. So him helping you, you're the female, right? Bringing these out, and where's the sun? His sun is over here in the 4th house. Transit Venus at 2 degrees was coming from the transit 4th house. So this is definitely familiarity, family, ancestral knowledge, heritage, memories. And so he was very comfortable doing this. And it's kind of like unfamiliar, but bringing these things out is like, I guess the best way maybe I can, what it seems like then too is then his spirit now is finally home and it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't yet though. Well, I don't know. When I did this reading, I still saw him in the dark on this one.
Mm-hmm. But this, like I said, Venus normally represents females and things, but it's from the 4th house. And it's trining his sun. So there still always seems to be some 4th house connection with you two. A familiarity, a family, part of your,
It really does make me wonder if there's a past life something there somewhere.
Well, we established in the first one that we did over the asteroids, and the other thing with the Saturn being over there in the 12th house, because Saturn is also the past, where we come from in the past, our past lives. And that was on your sun. So there is a past life connection.
Makes sense.
Because it was also then there on your self node where you came in from your past life. Now the ascendant is at 10 degrees of Sagittarius. Right here at the bottom, which is also still some part of his 4th house. But this ascendant is trining exactly Ted's 1st house of when it was his physical body, his self, his ascendant, but it was trining his lot of fortune at 10 degrees. So it's almost like this is part of like his chance, and with the physical body that he had, and then with Sagittarius involved, going beyond through the fourth house, going back to where he came from. So now he's finally then completing his cycle in that journey with the 10 degrees ascendant to his lot of fortune from the first. So it's like first to first, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, right? This is where this pinged that to start that complete the journey. And what's more beautiful, the transit moon with the seventh house from a partnership that has happened was then trining his Chiron, his wounds, his damage. The moon was trining it. And the moon in Cancer, out of bounds. Like I said, family, nurturing, with Chiron communicating it and being able to communicate and communicate. Like I said, just communicating through you. Then, since it's a trine, that was definitely healing and nurturing his own wounds. Then we have Saturn at 24 degrees. And this is then on the cusp of his seventh at the Aquarius. And like I said, we already know that Saturn is then 1 degree from your sun. But this Saturn at 24 degrees was exactly out of Aquarius squaring his Mercury at 24 degrees. So this Saturn of the past, timekeeper and the end of karma. It's kind of like when they talk about, your book of records, or you go in front of that gate and you got it, and everything's checked off, looked at. So it was squaring his Mercury, and the Mercury, like all these secrets of communicating it and communicating it out. So this was a part of it, pushing him to communicate, bring messages and give messages, was, Saturn, the Lord of Karma.
So it was part of his karma.
Yep.
To do this.
Mm-hmm. To heal his wounds, free his karma, his mistakes, his areas and stuff like that. Yes. And like I said, especially with that 10 degrees of the ascendant, with the 10 degrees of his lot of fortune from the first house transit to his first house. Like I said, it's the beginning and the end. It's back to square one, is where this is what pinged then him going, completing this cycle. And that's all I have.
Okay. Can you put in, that's all you have for the second one?
That's all I have right now, unless I notice anything else.
Is there a way to put this in your program and just, you don't have to go deep into it, just a review
Let's see
of the Idaho one? And I would have sent that to you if I didn't know you had it. I feel bad.
Let's see if it'll let me.
I put it in the private chat. If not, I can give it to you if you can't see the private chat.
Okay. You're gonna have to send it again because I came back in, so there's nothing in the private chat.
I can tell you what it is if that's easier.
Okay.
November 29th, 22, 10:42 p.m. That's 5 days after his birthday. I didn't even realize. He is very forthcoming on this one. This was a very clear reading compared to the other ones, but I also connected in a different way. The other ones I did auto writing, and this way I connected how I do on camera now with the scribbling and Tammy. Plus, I think he knew a lot about it.
My astrology software program will not open. I keep clicking on it. If I right click it, no. It just keeps flashing and disappearing. Oh, God, here we go.
I wonder if it helps if you go out of StreamYard and try it, if the StreamYard's screwing it up.
You hear that ding? It's just not. It's like saying no. Wait a minute.
I just want to try to show you guys a little bit about it if she can. Hopefully. It's my fault. I didn't have it sent to her for some reason. I feel bad. Just put it like that. Because I know that was an important one. Because that's... his birthday is November 24th, and I did this on the 29th for Idaho. Not currently. His birthday's November. I believe that makes him a Sagittarius, not a Scorpio. If I remember right. Dang technology. What? Okay, Harry, your thing is muted. I didn't know if you did that on purpose.
No, I did not do that on purpose. I was like, it keeps stopping, them flashing, and I'm almost getting the information in. And I was trying to tell him, like, well, the moon is like our biggest conducer of frequency and energy and wavelengths, and she's busy with an eclipse right now. I don't think she really gives a crap if I get this chart up for her. Just like she's got more important things to worry about. Okay, let me see when that works.
Just this is the one that I knew a lot of people were interested in, but I just for some reason thought you had it. I don't know. What?
No.
Stop. Oh, big fat cat. I love you. No, not now. Yeah, she's a talkative one, let me tell you. Talkative and licky. She used to come lick and talk at the weirdest times. She's a calico, if that tells you anything. Yes, Deborah, that's basically, well, so me connecting with him on this is all his healing, basically, is what she's saying, and it opens some stuff up, but also, in the time that I connected with Idaho, that's why I wanted to show you, because it shows that he was basically released. Oh, the goats are starting to chew on my hands, my shoelaces, my hair.
You wanted this over Ted's chart?
I don't know. Whatever you think.
Let me see if it'll do it. Come on.
Whatever's easiest for you. I don't want it to be
Quit
complicated.
on me now. Don't quit on me now. Keep working. Come on.
Oh, Archie and Arlo are the sweetest. Arlo's little face cracks me up all the time.
It just crashed and completely closed.
Do you want to get out of StreamYards and try it and see if that helps? Maybe the StreamYards is killing it, and then take a screenshot or whatever and do it that way. Would that be easier?
Yeah, I can try it.
Okay. All right. I just want to do this one because it's really important because it has to do with Idaho 4 and him transitioning. So thank you for being patient and everything, you guys. I appreciate it. I know we've had some issues tonight, and that just has to do with the energy of everything. Sorry, Aurora. I'm trying to plug in my light so you guys can see me, but because I had unplugged it for the heater. Hold on. What the heck? Thought I had unplugged it for the heater. I don't know what that is. Or maybe I unplugged it for the computer. All right, let's try that. There we go. It got dark. No, I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think it has to do with Mercury retrograde and, the eclipse and everything. I don't really think it has to do with him, but I know that many people are interested in the Idaho 4 chart because that is when he was released, and it's very, very significant. And again, it's my fault because I thought she had it, but I guess she didn't. So when I sent the other stuff, I should have sent her that. So that's my fault, my bad. What do you guys think so far? Isn't it? Do you guys think it's interesting? Are you guys understanding? Are you understanding the connection and why I did it and all of that? Like, and why I consult with him? Yeah, Arlo's more like mellow and chill and calm, and Archie's a little rambunctious thing. They're like opposites. Yeah, you will have to rewatch it. It seems like we've had a lot of issues, and I know I apologize for that, but it's like stuff we can't stop, So please don't come at us in the comments for the issues, okay? It happens. Especially with all the you do encourage Lizzie, that's for sure. Lizzie always encourages Ted consults. But I mean, I had a lot of hate for it, but I thought showing the astrology would make people kind of understand, a little bit more about why I connected to him, that I was actually connected to him and I wasn't being I wasn't being tricked or anything like that. It shows right here in the astrology chart that we were having legit communication and he was legitly helping, and we do have a past life. Well, that's why I try to, like, whenever she does the foreign language, I try to have her explain it. So she does explain what the transits and everything mean. So that's why sometimes I ask her, what does that mean? So she is explaining that. So you don't have to understand the planets and all that. Just listen to the meaning of it. Because I don't understand it either. I mean, I don't understand the placements and the degrees and all that. That's why I ask her, like, well, what does that mean? So that she can explain what it means. Exactly. And that's basically what these charts are saying, is that our connection is to help humankind. And it's a powerful connection. Because actually his soul is good. It's just he had a bad human life and he needed to heal from that. But by connecting with me, in doing these readings with me, it helped him heal and transition, which we all want them to do, right? Because we're all souls and spirits, and we don't really know what we did in another life. We had to heal from it, obviously, to be here again. But yeah, so that's true. They're different on the other side. People are different on the other side. We are not our humanity, as what I always try to tell people. You know, you have disabilities here, you don't have them on the other side. If you have mental issues here, you don't have them on the other side. We are pure energy, pure love on the other side. And that's what the first chart stated, was that he was a good soul. He just had a tough life. But we did learn. So sometimes people do bad things. I saw somebody comment, for us to learn from it. So we did learn from it. Because he was the first serial killer that we knew about, and all of that. So hey, so sorry, that's just my client. So I apologize for the silence real quick. Yep, I was just yeah, I just saw you. So you were just who I was communicating with. Why there was silence for a minute. Yeah. Give me thumbs up when you're ready. Okay. Did it work?
Nope. The way it seems is that the software is being updated in maintenance.
That figures.
Yeah. Because then I finally got like a notice saying you can't at this time. This is scheduled maintenance. So they must have started at like 10:30. I don't know where the head of the software company is. I don't know.
Okay. Well, can you remember anything about that chart?
No.
All right. Well, there's that.
And I wish, and you're right, when we recorded it, half the recording didn't record. And the only thing that it recorded was like your chart. But when it came, because I remember that we discussed it. And I remember that then there was all these sextiles. I mean, the sextiles went all the way around the wheel, which created the Star of David. I remember that.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like really cool. It was so fascinating. Because when we think about the Star of David, and like if you even just think about it when it came to the wise men following the star, right? For basically when the Star of David, that's when everything aligns perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a sextile that goes all the way around the whole chart wheel, which is really cool. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
In a chart. And I just remember seeing that.
I remember that too.
I know
I remember.
So it's almost like if people saw the movie like The Fifth Element or whatever it was, but then each key, finally, all the cogs on the wheel were unlocked, right? Because it took one thing to happen to sextile this to then to ping this event, 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 right? And then finally, it's like the right combination was put in a safe, and now you can finally turn the wheel and open the door. That's kind of how I look at it, because this had to happen, this had to happen, this, and this to make all those sextiles then connect.
So do you think I had to actually communicate with him 2 times before I did the Idaho to get the information I got with Idaho 4?
Absolutely, because some of it had to do with, you and your free will of, even if you accepted the
Mhm.
challenge and how you went about it. And then you have to understand, then you received challenges with judgment, human
Mhm.
judgment, these kind of things. And so that's almost was like a test for you too,
Mhm.
to see then being presented with this, and also being presented with, some obstacles or some difficult parts of it. Would you continue and try again and still do it? That was a part of where some of the inner planets ping, because that's part of your free will. Okay, you have this going on. What are you going to do with it? So it also took your part to then continue on with that, to then ping to the next thing, that kind of stuff. But it also took him then, and his spirit then, to also continue on and feel comfortable and to keep continuing on. It took both of your spiritual energies, like in the earth ether, to keep going with it.
So it's almost like we built up a kinship again
Mm-hmm.
to come with the information in Idaho 4, because it was very accurate information in that and very direct. So, like you're saying, it made the Star of David. It seemed like everything had to fall into place for that reading to
Right.
happen the way that it
Right.
happened. Like,
Because it takes
not
a
just,
certain event to happen, another event to happen, all the,
and it's almost like just nobody else could have done that and gotten the
because
same
the Star of
information.
David then ends up, because then it does to create this perfect will, but then it takes a jump from house, jump to house, because it also means in between, if sextile is a midpoint mark, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Which means the whole 12 houses wheel is completed, which is the whole soul's journey,
So then
our life journey. Yeah.
that is proof that he actually did cross to the other side by helping with Idaho 4. That's basically the proof
In my
of,
opinion, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
From
yeah.
how I understand everything.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Because it matches my vision. I mean, I saw him walking after the guy was arrested. I saw him walking through the tunnel into the light. But you saying that just confirms that he actually did go into the light.
But yeah,
Because the
because
next time
it did complete.
yeah,
It completed.
which is really amazing. Because nobody, I don't think anybody else could have connected with him and gotten the same information, basically. Because I already had built that rapport, and it was already a destined connection.
As long as you continued on with it. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know if he wouldn't have completed the journey. We, like I said, we don't know. Then how long would he have to wait before maybe then communicating with someone else or whatever? We don't know. Could be like
Yeah.
your next lifetime when you're dead and someone else. I mean, we don't know, because we don't know. Like time doesn't. I know. Is it like it's time here?
Yeah. Well, everybody's wanting a part 3 on that chart if you're willing. Just on that chart. But I know you're busy. And I know it's a lot for you, but it's totally in your court.
Super a lot for me.
But
I
it's
don't
just
know. I can't give you an answer right now. For one, I'm not completely clear-headed. And then how did that happen? Wait a minute. Go. Okay, that's better, I think. Okay. So I missed everything that chat's been saying, so I have no idea what's going on in the YouTube
no,
world.
nothing really. I was just trying to keep conversation while you were gone. So they're asking certain questions just about what I do because I can't really answer what you do. And they're asking for part 3 on just the Idaho chart. There's like 4 or 5 comments on it. So again, it's up to you. We kind of went over it like in a what we can remember. And that's again my bad because I didn't know she didn't have it, so my bad. So totally up to her if she wants to or not. I'm gonna leave that up to her because it is a lot for her. She's busy.
I'm not sure. So let me sleep on it when I'm like, which I probably will, but I just don't want to then say a time until I actually look at what the heck's going on.
Well, you don't have to give us a time or anything right now. They're just wanting just that specific chart. Because how everybody feels about Idaho and about him, completing the journey like we're talking about, which we basically talked about it, but I can't remember if there's any more that's there that would be important. So totally up to you. You don't have to give me a time or date right now, but
Okay.
just want to let you know that's what they're asking for. A lot of people are asking for it, so they like it.
Do they? Okay. That's good.
They like it a lot.
And I know we're not as peppy as we normally are.
And hopefully you'll get some bookings off of it. All of her information is in the description box now, as well as mine. So
I think I opened up my calendar for Thursdays and Sundays.
And don't forget my merchandise. Look, there it is. Magical Badass. There you go.
Oh, I like that shirt. That's really cool.
Isn't it cute?
That is really cool.
It's hard to see it, but yeah, I was like, I thought I'd wear that today. So, all right.
Okay. I think that's it, right?
For coming on. Yeah. Okay. I think, does anybody have any questions for her before we
everyone, I would say thank you for your patience, or we can just all put out to the universe to say just stop electronically messing with us. But
anybody have any questions about all this before we go? Before I let her go, anybody got any questions? Anyone? It's your last chance. We don't know if she'll be back, so your last chance.
That's true.
I might have to give her another donation. Anybody want to donate? I could send it to her to entice her back. Anybody have any questions? See, everybody's asking. Actually, it was Casey's idea, so blame her.
You're welcome, Las Vegas girl 122. Yeah, and I feel the same way. I don't think we completely recovered from the last one, energetically, draining wise, and then this is then even on top of it with an eclipse. Well, yeah, we're just gonna suck the life out of ourselves right now. But luckily, it's a lunar eclipse, so that means, well, hopefully, then the moon will grow a little bit more. We'll get a little bit of energy back here after the third day.
Actually, my energy isn't bad. It's usually worse than it is now.
You're welcome, Lizzie.
So
you're welcome, Deborah. And Karma Energy. Let's see.
Does anybody have any questions about the charts, or are we all good? We all good?
All okay, right. I think we're good. And you have a client here like in 8 minutes, don't you?
Yeah. She's actually in chat.
Oh, it's okay, so she knows what I'm doing. Yes. Okay, that's good.
She's spying on me.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, okay, everyone. It was interesting, draining, and thank you all for your patience. And what do we do when the universe just wants to mess with us a little bit down here as human beings? Yeah.
So we'll let her sleep on it and we'll see. It wouldn't be a long show. It would just be that one chart. So it wouldn't be something crazy.
All right. Good night, everybody.